It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
I just realized how ridiculous we sound right now.
I know.
We're like telling you how to stalk somebody in another country at a resort.
No, this movie is.
We're also telling the movie how they could have done it better. That's bad. That doesn't talk a lot about our moral character.
It also
Sarah.
talks about how poorly planned she had her
You want to track somebody down? Here's what you got to do, guys. Okay?
man tracker.
Welcome to the Rom-Com Rewind Podcast.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Devin.
And like you, I love rewatching movies over and over again.
You made it here. You love romantic comedies. We do as well.
So this is a show where we rewatch rom-coms, break them down a bit for you, maybe take a peek behind the curtain, dig beneath the surface, and decide, does it still hold up?
Today we have
Desperados.
But before we get to that, if you're listening to us on Spotify, make sure you follow, subscribe, and Apple Podcasts. And also there's a few ways that you can get in touch with us if you have some comments or thoughts about the movies that we're doing in the podcasts. At Romcom Rewind on TikTok and as well on Instagram.
Today we have a message from Claire.
Claire, the one who doesn't like 500 Days of Summer. Just to be
Yes.
clear.
I would like to say I agree with Claire's thoughts on 500 Days of Summer, but anyway.
Okay, Claire.
So she says, okay, so I listened to the He's Just Not That Into You pod for the billionth time last night because the movie is in my top 5 fave rom-coms.
That's great.
And one of the quick facts was that the movie was based on a book, which was based on a line from the Sex and the City series, He's Just Not That Into You. In the pod, Devin guessed that someone probably said it to Miranda.
Oh,
well,
100%. Yeah, that's probably right?
Well, for the last month, I have been binging every Sex and the City episode because I grew up on that show, but never watched it all the way through, and I can confirm that in Season 6, Episode 4, Carrie's boyfriend, Jack Berger, says that exact line to none other than Miranda Hobbs.
Woo!
Devin was right.
Here we go! Claire, you've redeemed yourself. Thank you for binging an entire 6 seasons of Sex and the City so I can just waltz my way into this pod and take the glory of that victory. I
Take the
appreciate
glory. I think Claire has the glory here.
it. Well, Claire put in the legwork.
She did.
Everybody needs somebody,
I love that
grinding
she.
in the corners.
I love that she remembered that because, like, we did that pod. I think in our first season.
Oh, it's been a long time
Yeah.
since we've done that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's still re-listening to it.
I know,
Thank
I love
you.
it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Claire. You're absolved from the 500 Days of Summer stuff. Today we have Desperados, which is a 2020 romantic comedy. It's on Netflix. It's directed by LP.
Yeah, I just want to interject before you start. I actually thought this was a 2022 new release. I had no idea that it's 2 years old. But anyway.
Not to be confused with the old Western movie Desperado,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is Antonio Banderas and very old. It's not that. This is a new 2020 romantic comedy. LP is Lauren Palmignano, who's a writer and producer of Funny or Die. Desperados is the story of Wesley Daria, played by Nazim Pedret. She's kind of struggling. Wesley is. She's trying to find a job as a school guidance counselor. Not going well. That's kind of our first scene where we see her. She's also struggling trying to find love. That's been a tough ride for her as well. Finally, she seemingly finds the man of her dreams, but he ghosts her and she writes a horrible email to him. Turns out he was in Mexico at the time in the hospital. So really the crux of this movie is that Wesley and her friends Brooke and Kaylee team up to go to Mexico. They go to Cabo to steal potentially his laptop or his phone or some way of deleting that email. Key people in this movie: Anna Camp is the best friend Brooke. Sarah Burns is the best friend Kaylee. Lamorne Morris plays a guy named Sean McGuire, a potential love interest in this movie. And Robbie Amell, Sarah's favorite.
I love Robbie Amell.
He plays Jared. Jared is the email guy, so he is the main real love interest in this movie, we think. I revealed,
was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, I revealed a little bit more on the tee up to this because, you're about to hear a clip of the movie trailer in a sec, and that also reveals a lot of this plot. So that's kind of the tee up for Desperados. What are your thoughts?
I thought by the time I was 30, I'd be married, just chill on the guys, you know? Yeah, I'll just casually take a year off of dating while my ovaries rust and grow barnacles. Ugh. I have a blind date. Hi.
Look, Wesley, you seem like a great girl. The timing's not right for me.
I'm sorry, what? Oh my God. Who are you?
I'm Jared Sterling.
What do you actually know about this guy?
He wants kids. He owns a duvet cover. What more do I want?
I think you may be the perfect girl.
Jared's ghosting me. I'm gonna do an email.
Do an email!
This movie was like a mixed bag because it was what I was expecting, but then half of it really wasn't what I was expecting.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I didn't know how they were going to fill the movie's time with like going to Mexico and like trying to get all these things. And they did a good job with filling the time because it's a lot longer than you thought it was going to be.
So glad we're talking about this. I think this movie is a pretty big near miss.
Ooh,
in the romantic comedy world in my mind. Because it's like a 2020 Bridesmaids, isn't it?
Oh, I wouldn't put it up on that pedestal.
Well, I think that's what they're trying to do, which is why I say it's a near miss. It's not a Bridesmaids.
No.
But that's the vibe they're going for.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
And I agree, it's like 40 minutes longer than it should be. I think they took a big swing on using great people who made sense for
great
romantic
comedians. Great comedians.
Yeah, like I love Ryan Reynolds, but like we don't really need Ryan Reynolds in another romantic comedy. But Nazem Pedrad and Lamorne Morris as the romantic leads, hey, individually in New Girl, love them.
Oh my God, and I loved that they were in love in New Girl.
Yeah.
Like I love their love for each other.
100%. Like I can see it. I already saw it.
They have great chemistry together. And I think they enjoy I think they enjoy working together. Like I would assume so. But yeah. And I mean Lamorne's great. He is phenomenal. In New Girl, him and his cat, it was weird sometimes.
They bring his character to a pretty weird place.
Yeah, they
in
do.
New Girl, to be fair.
But I still loved him.
Yeah.
And I still love him. Like those RBC commercials. Anyway, love them.
Oh, it's BMO, actually.
Oh, it's BMO. Oh my God, Kate. He's in BMO commercials.
But
he is great.
for our international audience, so
Yes.
BMO is a Canadian bank. And for whatever reason, they're like, Lamorne Morris is going to be our guy. So he's
So
like,
weird.
for like 5 years now, this Canadian bank has just been hammering us with Lamorne Morris commercials.
I don't hate it though because they're actually really comedic.
Oh, they're
Like,
funny, and
they
he's got
are
great
funny.
timing, so
He
it's
does have great
awesome.
timing. He's kind of like the Trivago guy or the Captain Obvious guy for Hotels.com.
Yeah,
Like
just for this random Canadian bank.
100%.
Yeah. But like so you've got those two. I can get behind that. You've got Robbie Amell as kind of the classic, the other guy in the movie, and he nails that. Anna Camp. There's just a lot of individual stuff that goes right with this movie.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just have this love story that's way too long to figure out, in my opinion. Like, straight up 10 minutes into this movie, Sarah, you can corroborate this. I guessed how the story was going to go down. It's pretty obvious.
Well, you weren't like right on the money.
I was pretty close to being right on the money. And like 45 minutes through the movie, I thought, oh, maybe I was wrong about that. I thought this is how it would end. And then I paused it and I realized there's a whole extra hour after that.
Yeah, I remember you were like, okay, hold on, wait. The movie's not almost over. There's still 45 minutes left. And I looked at him and I was like, yeah, there is.
Yeah. This movie is like extremely funny for about an hour. And then I feel like they're like, hold on. Oh, shit, this is a rom-com. We got to figure out how they fall in love. And then they spend 45 minutes just like smashing these two people together.
No, I agree. It is like like I said, it's a mixed bag because I do like this movie and I want to like it.
Yeah, me too.
And I do. But there's parts of this movie that didn't hit for me. Like, it had so many good things to bring it all together in a nice little bow.
Well, and the comedic timing between, like,
So
especially
good.
your main characters, they were hitting their jokes. And I just think, like, not even the script, because the script was good, but the thought process of how we're going to get from point A to point B, like, how does this start and end?
Yeah.
It just wasn't clear in terms of the plot.
No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The writing was great. The plot was horrible. If that makes
so
sense.
Many, like,
Can that be a thing?
you know what though? No, I liked the essence of the movie. Like this person writes an email and regrets it immediately and figures of things out and needs to fix it.
Sure, I like that.
Because it's absurd. It's a rom-com like trope. It's nuts. It's out there.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. But how they got there were like really good parts. And then there were parts that they could have just let go, you know?
Oh, yeah, just cut that.
Yeah,
They got lost in the weeds at
They
times.
did.
For me. Yeah. Still a good watch, though.
It was. Like, I'm probably going to watch it again
Yeah,
at some point. Like,
sure.
I'm probably going to sit there and enjoy it. And actually, it's based on the actors. I have to say, why I would watch this movie again is because of the actors.
Totally. Love
I enjoyed them as much as, you know, it makes women's ability to find love set back about, you know,
Oh, do you think
quite a bit of
it sends you back
years.
a couple years?
A little bit. Just a little bit. Like the desperate portion of it.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
slightly. Like, you don't need a man to be happy. It was that she banked on in order for her to put her life together, she needed a man.
100%.
But the actors just did it for me. I freaking loved it. The movie opens, like you said, with her interviewing or her trying to find a guidance counselor job. And she is interviewing for a position at a Catholic school.
There's
and
a nun in the interview.
It does not go over well because she starts talking about sex to a nun. And I started thinking to myself, like, what would be off topics during interviews? Like, what are topics you should never touch during interviews? Is it the same for like family dinners? Is it the same for like friend get-togethers? Like
Friend get-togethers, I think, is a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, no, like, actually, I think the core thing is know your audience, right? Like, I actually, literally yesterday, I was in a meeting with like a lot of the higher ups at my company, like people, and I dropped an F-bomb, and it just kind of slipped out, and immediately I thought, oh shit, are they chill with F-bombs on this call? Like, and then I was like, it's a friggin' Teams call, so then I'm looking at each of their squares individually to see how they reacted.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I knew my audience, but I didn't know them well enough to drop an F-bomb. I thought it was chill. And then immediately somebody else dropped an F-bomb, and I actually thought he was covering for me. Actually, he was just, like, also saying it to make me feel a little bit more chill. So,
well, that's
Zach,
very nice.
I appreciate that. But yeah, I think it's like a know your audience, you know, don't talk politics. Don't drop an F-bomb for sure.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, it's a Catholic school, so you almost have to, like you said, know your audience. It's a nun. Things that would be off topic. Sex. Like, it just is
Don't
one
even
of
bring up
those
sex ed.
things.
Like,
Don't even
just-
bring that up. And like, what would you have to do with sex ed anyway? What if the person sitting across from you has something stuck in their teeth that are interviewing? Do you tell them?
Do you?
Oh, all the time. I believe that
Sarah has a very strong stance on telling people if they have food in their teeth. Okay, let's hear it.
I will always tell people if they have something stuck in their teeth or if they have something in their nose.
What? Oh, something in their nose,
Yeah, like
too.
a booger.
I've got a question. Why are you so passionate about this, though? You're like, listen, that is one of my core beliefs. If you have food stuck in your teeth, Sarah's got your back.
Okay, because...
Is there a traumatic experience in
Okay,
your past?
so there was a birthday that I had, and I had...
What year? How old are you?
Oh, no, like I was like in, like, I don't know, university, maybe?
Oh, so
After
this wasn't...
university, maybe?
Okay.
Like, and I
We're
had...
not talking formative years. This
No,
is,
no, I was not 8 years old. And it sits deep. But
the 1998 food in the teeth incident.
I had something stuck in my teeth, like my two front teeth,
Okay.
the entire night. So
Right.
all pictures have me with something stuck in the middle of my teeth, and it was like something black. Like you could tell in the photos. Not one person told me that entire night
Ooh.
that I had something stuck in my teeth.
And you are the most moral person we know, so that's just sitting deep
my
with
God.
you. It's festering.
I was like, nobody told me. Like, you guys didn't tell me I had something stuck in my teeth the entire night. Like, what the heck? So, yes, that is why I'm very passionate about telling people. Even like tags sticking out of like people's shirts and coats and stuff. I mean, if you're a complete stranger, no, I won't. But if I like know you, I'll go up to you and let you know.
I love that this is something. This is a big sticking point for you.
I know. You've made it into a big sticking point.
Well, no, you were like, listen, I will never not tell you.
Well, I
Like,
will tell you.
God.
At least you know I'll do that.
Yes, we do, yeah. Sarah's got your back. Especially if there's a tag sticking out of it.
Her friend Brooke says there are things you say when you have the job, and then there's things you say when you want the job.
Sure.
I thought like that was such a good line. And I mean, it ties into our earlier conversation about like what you say when you have, like, it would be what you say when you have the job. Yeah, dive into that sex ed combo with a nun. But if you don't have the job yet, don't do it.
Oh, yeah. Everybody lies on their resume and their cover letter. The interview process is just a continuation of that lie.
I don't.
Just-
So
Wait,
I don't
what?
know who lies on their resume.
Everybody lies on their resume, Sarah.
You're not supposed to lie on your resume.
Yeah, but like,
What do you lie on your resume about?
do I know Excel, Microsoft Excel? Sure. Am I proficient? Absolutely.
I was gonna
Sarah.
say Google is a girl's best friend for
I am
Excel.
right. I'm 100% proficient on my resume in Excel.
You're really good at photocopiers.
I can.
I excel at photocopiers
Wow.
and taking paper jams out.
Yes. Yeah.
Like-
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So she goes on a blind date and she meets Sean.
Yeah. So Sean's hooked up like from a friend. They hooks them up, and actually on the phone call before they get to the date, you know, they're kind of vibing a little bit. She's chatting with Sean. And they both make the joke about the automatic out, is what they call it.
Right.
So they joke that there's no point in continuing on a date when you know it's just not going to work out. So, like, no hard feelings if one of us uses an automatic out. Just peace out, it's fine. She gets to the restaurant that, excuse me, I was about to say Lamorne, that Sean is at. Sean and Wesley, they start chatting, and maybe like 15 seconds into the chat, Sean's like, you know what? I'm using it. And he stands up and he's like, I'm using my automatic out. She's like, really? Like that fast? Like, what was it? And they have a little chat and they peace out, and Lamorne Morris walks away. What do you think about that? Like one, do you think he was justified or was that too quick? But also, what do you think about using an automatic out on a date?
Okay, so I think it was too quick because, like, it was 15 seconds into the conversation.
Yeah.
He used that way too fast. I mean, we learn later why, which is valid, but in that instance, if you didn't know the background of why he did it, way too fast. I mean, I don't think that's really fair to anybody. You don't even know them past their name and 15 seconds of what came out of their mouth.
But
Yeah.
does the theory of an automatic out, is that okay?
So I think it's better than ghosting, than not
Okay.
showing up at all and then just deleting your account, or like being rude on social media to the person, saying like,
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
you know, I don't want to actually go out on a date with you.
Yeah, I guess to those alternative, like if you were on a date with a guy and 20 minutes in, he's like, you know what? I'm not feeling this, so goodbye. And he just walks up and leaves.
But they talked about that very thing, and they
Right.
they agreed upon it.
So if you, like, yeah, you would be okay with that then.
I guess so. I mean, I would rather know if you're really not into it
Yeah.
than have you disappear on me. At least you have the guts to tell me so.
Sure.
And then I don't have to guess for the rest of my life.
I'm telling you to your face, this is
Yeah.
not going to work out. I love it because how many times have you been on a date and you thought, oh, God, this doesn't matter. I don't like this person. Like, none of this matters.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to just pretend like I'm interested for like an hour and a half just in case
I mean,
maybe they want to hook up.
it
And then,
Yeah.
you know,
it depends. Like, are you going to get free dinner out of it?
Well, see, and that's the thing. The
Yeah.
girl is thinking, am I going to get free dinner? And the guy's thinking, maybe I could still get laid, and it's not a total wash. So we're just pretending to like each other.
Yeah.
just
to get
see
what
if
we
those
want
things
out of
happen.
it.
Come
Yeah.
on.
I like how for girls it's food and guys it's sex.
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously not all the time, but yeah.
Right,
like,
yeah.
So she leaves the date and falls and is awoken by a really good looking man, Jared Sterling.
Robbie Amell joins us,
Yes.
and he looks like Prince Charming. He's perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fairy tale beginning. So she decides that in order for this to work, she's going to try to not be herself and pretends to like all of these things like bubble soccer, salads, and then they have sex and he ghosts her.
Yeah, so like she falls, Jared kind of comes to her rescue, he brings her back, and then they start dating. But yeah, she pretends to be, basically he implies like, oh God, like every girl in LA is so crazy and blah, 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 and she kind of gets it in her head, like if I just pretend to be somebody else, hey, this relationship could work out. So she pretends to like all the stupid crap that he does, including bubble soccer.
Yeah, which I would love to try. I want to try it.
As
I wouldn't
a
join a
hobby,
league.
though, yeah.
I wouldn't
Who is in
join a league
for that.
But I would try bubble soccer. I've always wanted to try bubble soccer. You know what I've always thought? Of taking like the bubble and like try skiing with it. But then if you fall, you just roll.
That's a horrible idea.
But
you
you'd
will
never
not
get
stop
hurt.
rolling.
You'd never get hurt.
Have you ever been in one of those bubbles?
No.
Okay, if you actually like run into somebody, you can hurt people for sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, not hurt other people. I just
No,
like
I
to
just
roll.
mean like the bounce back factor.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
Oh.
Very dangerous.
I don't know why I think that's a good idea.
So there was one time I was actually like, for whatever reason, I was there with like a bunch of kids. And so I knew like it was an adult Devon and there were a bunch of kids and there were a few other adults. And I was in there playing bubble soccer and I'm like, okay, like I just need to be aware of my surroundings because like I could hurt one of these kids. And for sure, one of the other adults comes, hits me, and I see them coming, so I brace, and then I bounce back, and I didn't realize there was a kid behind me, and I just nailed this kid in yard sale. He was gone. I'm like, holy Ralphie, we can't do that, bro. Like, I almost killed that child.
I love it.
Back to the story, though. What's the worst
yeah.
hobby you've ever had to, like, feign interest in for a significant other?
You know what? I don't think I ever like take on the persona of the person I'm dating. Like I
Right.
think I kind of try to stay like true to what I want to do and what I like to do, hobby wise. But I mean, I think something that would be really like for me anyway would be. I love adventure. I love going on hikes and I love being outdoors and doing things, trying new things, etc. But if there was like an adrenaline junkie who like wanted to go like skydiving and then bungee jumping and then like paragliding off of like a cliff and stuff and like really, really high risk, like death type activities.
Sarah's not in it for
I
the
don't
risk.
know if I could do it. Some fun, some risk, but like I don't want it to be our entire relationship as always like doing things that push the boundaries to the point of almost death.
So like Bob in Runaway Bride, he was like the adventure guy.
Yes.
You would not be down for a Bob. My thing was in a relationship, I cannot handle the like overly spiritual, I saw it happen in a dream, Mercury's in retrograde, I own crystals type of person. Like I respect people who are passionate about stuff. When we're at work and you want to chat about that, great. However, in a relationship, that's different. Like I dated a girl and her family was Peruvian. They were all from Peru. Very close, tight-knit family. But also they were like the everything means something type of family. And one day we were driving and she gets a call from her mom. And they're talking, and all of a sudden she's like, "Stop the car!" And I'm like, "Oh damn, what? Like, what happened?" I pull into a parking lot, and she's emotional. She hangs up the phone, and she's like, "My mom had a dream that I died last night." And I said, "Oh word, like that's wild stuff." Like, okay, like what does that mean for me? And she's like, "You got to take me home." And I'm like, "What? We're going over. Like, we're going to a party tonight. What do you mean?" And she's like, "Absolutely not. Like, this is." She explained to me, like, we don't mess with anything like that. If my mom saw something in a dream, that's, like, law. That's happening.
Wow.
That was 8 years ago. She's still alive. Like, I think we might have broken up the next week because I'm like, I can't deal with that.
Oh, my God.
What your mom dreams is not going to happen in real life. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so you also don't take on the persona.
No.
Yeah. So I know people who have faked liking things, and then when they've gotten married, they have told their significant other, "No, I actually hate doing that, and I will never do it again."
That's funny. That's funny. Do you still like golf, Sarah?
I do.
Oh, good.
I
Okay,
do
because that would be like the one thing that I
golf-
convinced you to do.
Okay, yeah, but I golf without you as well sometimes. So that means I do in fact like it. So like I said, Jared ghosts her after they have sex, and she takes it extremely personally. So during a night with the girls, she gets wasted and decides that it's an extremely fantastic idea to write him a scathing email.
Jared's ghosting me,
I'm gonna do an email.
Do an email!
In case you're wondering, I'm doing great, except for the fact that 5 days ago, your penis entered my vagina, and I haven't heard from you since. Your dick is bad.
Hey, you get a dumb tattoo!
Suck on this. And send
Do girls do this, like get together and write an email or send a text, but like they're all collaborating on how to write it?
I think so. Like the input from others is there.
So you've never had this happen though?
I wouldn't like, and I wanted to ask you, like, would you have the balls to do that? To send somebody who ghosted you a text like that, really truly not knowing the full picture of what's happening after you've had sex with them?
No, because like I think you always want to be the bigger person. Like if you're gonna ghost me, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
you look, it's a bad look when you're the one being like, "Hey, haven't heard from you. Hey, you know what? Here's how I feel." And then
Yeah.
you start going off. You just look like
It's a bad idea.
It's a bad
It is a
look.
very bad idea to do it.
you look weak. You know. So between Brooke, Kaylee, and Wesley, they joined together to send this horrible email. You know, they talk about like his relationship with his father who's passed away.
Oh,
They
it's
talk
awful,
about
yeah.
how he has a thin penis.
Oh yeah, that one. That's actually really funny.
It was pretty funny.
Like a
But-
poker penis.
Yeah, but it's like it's a roast of our boy Jared.
It is. Who she barely really knows.
Yeah. And then moments after the email sent, we learned that Jared was actually in Mexico. He was in Cabo and he got into a car accident. He's been in a Mexican hospital for the last couple days. That's why he hasn't gotten in touch with her. And he also reveals on that phone call, he's like, my phone is in my hotel, like in the resort right now. I don't even have it on me. So she gets the idea. Oh my God. Brooke, Kaylee, we need to go to Mexico and we need to get his phone or his laptop. We need to break in and we got to delete that email. Because he is still the guy of my dreams. He wasn't ghosting me. He was in a car accident.
Yay, he's still perfect.
Yeah.
Would you go to great lengths like this to delete an email?
I think we need a new segment of the pod.
Okay.
Because I think this happens a lot in rom-coms. We need like a normal or rom-com
Okay.
segment.
I like it.
So is it like, is this something that would actually happen in real life? Is this normal? Or is this just the crazy, fantastical plot of a romantic comedy and nobody would actually do this?
I do think there are some people who would do this. However, I'm going to say it's a rom-com plot.
But you do agree that some people would do it? I would think about doing this.
Really? Okay, I would never. I would not do this.
If I thought they were the absolute perfect person, I would think about going. I don't know if I would pull the trigger, but I would definitely think about it.
So are you a believer of there's one person only for people in the world? Like that would be a thing that you'd have to believe in order to do this.
Trick question, Sarah. Wife? Like, come on. How do you want me to answer that? You see, guys, you see what she does?
When I asked
we
it,
do
it was
this
not,
lovely little
it was
podcast.
not a trick question.
It's all innocent, and then she hits me with one of those. How am I supposed to respond to that?
Well, you know how you're supposed to respond.
Exactly. I'm worried.
My
and I
question
don't...
was a genuine question, though. Like, aside from you literally being married.
I'm so nervous right now.
Oh my God. Answer correctly.
No, I don't think there's like a one for everybody.
So, like, why would you feel the need to go to great lengths? Like, you don't think that there's anybody else that you'd find? Like, this is the perfect person for you?
But I think the number is so infinitely small.
They're traveling to a different country to fix this.
They're in LA.
Yeah,
How
I know.
far
It's
is
not that far.
How far is Cabo from
it's
LA?
Not that far. But
It's international, but
that's my point. It's great lengths. I feel like we're very divided here. Like, I wouldn't do this.
it's also a great vacation destination.
Well, heck yeah. I mean, I wouldn't spend my whole time like naked with a pillow on me trying to get into a room.
Yeah, listen, execution, not quite there.
No.
Which we can get into for sure. But the essence of it, like...
I'd also like plan the heck out of it. Like, she does not plan well, clearly, because like I would have like every step of the plan made.
Yeah, she had no plan. So how would you make the plan better, though? Okay, you know what? We don't need to get into this right now. We can continue on, and then we can dissect the plan. Because the plan kind of sucks.
I'll be honest,
agree.
I had not thought that far ahead, so I will have to come up with a plan on the fly.
Here we go.
So she runs into Sean while in Cabo. He is weirdly at the same resort in Cabo as she is at that very, very time. It's like crazy.
So Wesley, but also the two friends, Brooke and Kaylee, agree.
Yeah.
Let's go to Cabo. We'll delete the email and then we'll have a good time. And yeah, she meets Sean. He's like, "That's weird that you're here." And she's like, "I didn't follow you here like a crazy person. I followed another man here like a crazy person." Okay,
I mean, at
Don't
least she's
judge.
honest.
She is.
I
It's funny.
appreciate the honesty of her.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So and this is something that I always found really weird, and this is totally a rom-com, like, extreme. How they find his room on the resort in Cabo is by continuously calling his cell phone, which hasn't died yet, which is weird.
Yeah.
To listen to the ringtone through the walls of the villas.
So what would you do differently?
It's not a real thing. That wouldn't happen.
What do you mean that
you
wouldn't
wouldn't
happen?
be able to hear the ringtone through the walls of your villa. And on top of that, the cell phone would be dead by now.
You're right. So they get to the front desk of this resort and they won't tell Wesley where Jared's room is.
Which is correct protocol.
That is correct
Good for
protocol.
them, because she seems like a crazy human who's traveled, to a different country to try and steal their phone and laptop. Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. So what you do, you got 3 people there, right? Brooke, Kaylee, and Wesley. You tell the front desk, "Listen, I have an urgent letter for Jared. You don't need to tell me what room he's in, but I need somebody to hand this to him in the next 10 minutes. Hand it over." But only 2 of you walk up to the desk.
Correct.
The third person hangs out, watches the letter, just follow the guy. Now you know what room he's in. Whoa, I even hit my mic stand. I was so intense
He's
about
very
that.
passionate about this. No, completely agree. There are I could think of, well, no, I really can't think of, because I really didn't think this far ahead about this, but there are several other ways to go about doing this other than calling his phone and waiting for the ringtone.
Yeah, because all you need to do right now is find out where the hotel room, which hotel room he's staying in.
Absolutely.
Easy.
And there's so many other ways that you could figure out how to get in. House cleaning, I'm sure they're there cleaning his room.
I just realized how ridiculous we sound right now.
I know.
We're telling you how to stalk somebody in another country at a resort.
No, this movie is. This movie is.
We're also telling the movie how they could have done it better. That's bad. That doesn't talk a lot about our moral character.
It also talks about how poorly planned she had her.
You want to track somebody down? Here's what you got to do, guys. Okay?
Man tracker. So I guess the next part of their plan comes into play where she's going to wear a towel, go to the front desk and with a serving tray and say she's locked out. And of course, the guy knows what villas they're in. There's probably not a ton of people. It's a small enough resort, but the staff are from 5 hours ago is the same staff that's on right now.
Yeah, so Wesley, they figured out which room, or I should say which building Jared's villa is in. So she pretends like she's been sleeping with the person in the room and she got locked out. So that's what she tells the hotel staff.
Correct.
Let's call a spade here. All you need to do is delete the email. Break the window. Just break in.
Or climb up. If he's on the second floor, climb up onto the thing and go in. Again, we're telling you how to break in.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But also the key thing is we know he's on the second floor. Wesley does not yet. So she convinces one of the hotel staff to let her into the villa. Turns out there's a child and the mom in that room. And Jared's room is up top.
And this is the second run-in with this child and the mother. Which is, I do appreciate the ongoing joke throughout this movie of this piece, but I wish the kid was a little bit older.
Yeah, so these are actually my best scenes.
Oh, okay, I'll stop then.
No, because they were funny and weird, and I don't want to talk about if the roles were reversed, how problematic that would be, because I agree, kid's a little young, but It was a fun twist. It was a nice little... I find this movie throws a few twisty elements at you at times. Some of them hit, some of them don't. These were some of the jokes that I thought hit. They were funny.
Yeah, they were. I do have to say the towel thing is my best scene, only because I actually could see, not the way it was executed of her going up to the tray, but I would come up with a better plan with the towel, I think. But I could see like something
Sarah likes
happening with it.
the prop, the towel prop.
Well, I just think she could have done a little bit more with it to make it more believable.
Yeah.
To get into the room.
Sure.
So with the unsuccessful towel scene, she heads to the bar. And okay, this is truly my best scene because this conversation with Kaylee, Brooke, and these two traveling salesmen is hilarious. The amount of no fucks that Brooke gives these traveling salesmen, I absolutely die over.
Well, the one guy they love.
The one guy they love, yes. But the one guy is a complete dick.
Yeah, and I think it's very indicative of like... of like just people on vacation at resorts. Like, you know, the chances of you ever seeing these people ever again in your entire life, close to zero. As close to zero as you can get. So you're like, I'm just going to be the maximum level of me I can be. And this guy was just, he was there to bang Brooke.
Oh, he was.
That was his objective that night.
So Wesley shows up to this scene at the bar. And of course, somebody took her clothes where she left them to put on the towel. So she is naked, buck naked, with a pillow around her. And I just feel like, you know, I feel like one of my friends has had this happen to them, or it's just like...
Sorry, one of your friends has had a situation where they walk to a patio bar naked, being covered only by a pillow.
Yeah, like I think like...
What? Who?
I don't know. I just feel like or maybe it's something that they would do, you know?
Okay.
I mean, not now, but like back in the day, you know? Like I wasn't overly surprised by this scene. I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, she goes
like,
to the...
I feel like this
she doesn't go back to the room.
I feel like this could happen, yeah. Yeah, you want to find your friends, the support system.
No, you want to find your room where your clothes, where the rest of your clothes
Well, maybe
is.
she doesn't have her key.
It's true, she's naked. Good point. Where would you put the key? Great
Exactly.
point. All right, you're making some points, Sarah.
Hopefully there's nowhere she puts her key other than in
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, you can't hide that key anywhere, so...
Okay, so the friends come up with one last-ditch effort to get in this godforsaken room. They go paddleboarding, and Brooke grabs the key that Ramon has, that the lead owner of the resort has as well, lead manager. Sean's also there paddleboarding, and they have a really good time together. And they have a little heart-to-heart, and then the dolphin comes up.
It's not a shark! Oh my God, look! This is so amazing! Look at how close he is to us!
Nah. See, you on your own with this one.
Oh, look at me smiling at you!
Really? You know dolphins smile no matter what. That's just the way their faces shake.
This scene was absurd.
Yeah,
this is a rom-com extreme for sure, because this would literally never ever happen.
Oh yeah, if we're playing the normal or rom-com, okay, so this is rom-com world. This is ridiculous.
The dolphin comes up, jumps out of the water, and dick slaps Wesley in the face.
Yeah.
Where'd you go, little guy? Oh!
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
Are you okay?
What just happened? I thought we were playing.
Playing? Nah, y'all weren't playing.
Was that his dick?
I'll be honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because you describe it, and I try to talk about how else to describe it, but that's literally just what happens.
Literally what happens.
You know? But you're right, love is, I wouldn't say love. Camaraderie is starting to blossom between Sean and Wesley, maybe?
Yeah, the hatred for between the two is starting to dissipate.
Yeah, we're like 50 minutes into the movie, and finally we're at that spot. So great. That's good.
Another encounter happens with the kid.
Yeah.
And they get kicked out of the resort. The three of them. The three girls.
And they end up, they have to go to like a hostel or something, like a really sketchy place.
Yes.
And at this point, Brooke and Kaylee, they're pissed at Wesley. They're like, listen, you dragged us here to delete this stupid email. Like, we just want to have fun. We came to Cabo to have fun. And I can't remember why, but basically Kaylee and Brooke, they dip off to see like a guru character.
They do. And Wesley decides that she still needs to get this back because it's her dream guy. She goes back to the resort with the master key, gets electrocuted climbing over the fence. Okay, like, that is not a thing that she could do. She could never get through that electrocution wire.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure, no. Yeah.
And has to go through the main lobby, which, like, go through the bushes or something. Like, why are you going through the main lobby where Sean literally yells your name? Wesley, what are you doing here? Wesley. Ramon also sees her and tells the lead manager, God, this girl. She makes it into his room, though, miraculously after losing her friends because she sucks and everything else that she's been through. Gets onto his computer, but before she can delete the email, she gets arrested. The next day, Sean brings Brooke and Kaylee, Wesley's friends, to the station to pick up Wesley, and guess who bailed her out?
The kid.
Yes, Nolan. Nolan, the little weird kid, bails her out of jail, which is hilarious. Like I don't know if this is true or not. Like I kind of feel like it's Sean and he was just making a joke, like a Nolan joke, but at the same time I'm like, no, like I could see like this story going where like this little kid bails her out of jail.
Yeah.
But like somehow convinced his mother who hates Wesley to bail her out. Like I don't know. Do you think it happened?
I mean, it depends on how much money. Like, does he just have cash and he just brought that to the jail? And
yeah. So the friends basically say they're done with her shit and they go and do whatever they want for the day. So they go and see a guru.
Can I, I'm going to hit you with one of my what should have beens right now.
Okay.
I've got many what should have beens.
Oh, wow.
This whole scenario with, so they go to see Heather Graham, who is a guru.
Right.
And Kaylee wants to see her because she is having problems with fertility.
Problems, yeah.
And just the whole thing with her seemed so unnecessary. They go on like this spiritual journey. Brooke decides she's going to leave her husband. Kaylee is trying to come to terms with, fertility and whatnot. And it just seemed like they were using this whole storyline to justify why those two would be pissed at Wesley because they're both going through their own stuff. It just seemed so unnecessary.
I agree. Like it's almost as if they could have been more involved in Wesley's story and she could have been less seemingly desperate. Like if her friends had been a little bit more involved in the planning process. Like, maybe. I don't know. They could have done it a little differently. I agree with you that whole entire part of the movie did not have to occur.
Yeah, right. It's like we keep on jumping back there. I think we spent like 15 minutes of this movie just like with this continuing character arc of those two. Honestly, I don't really care about Kaylee. I'm sorry. I love Wesley. I love Sean. I want to figure out how the thing happens with Jared.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care that Brooke wants to leave her husband. No offense to Brooke. Anna Camp, love you. You're not the star of the show.
So now Sean is stuck with Wesley, though, for the day because the two girls have kind of...
They dipped.
Gone off and done whatever they wanted to do. Jared calls Wes and says that he's going to the airport now. He's going to be released early. And, of course, she's literally already in Cabo, has been for days. So she lies and says, I'm already at the airport. I'll see you at the airport when you get dropped off. Sean sees him across the street at that very moment, and they have to hide. But Wesley convinces Sean to drive her to the airport to meet Jared there to sell the story.
Well, but what they realize is that they can actually track his bag.
Right.
So they're like, yo, we can see his bag. We know his laptop and his phone are in there, so we can still get to the email.
Well, and I love that Sean is so engaged and into this storyline now. Like he's just like, yeah, like I got to see this through. I got to see what happens. You want to go see Jared? Let me take you there because I want to see what happens. And
sure.
I loved it. I love that. So they talk about the dinner party glance thing.
Yeah, so now Wesley and Sean are kind of spending some more time together. We're warming up to, hey, maybe she's supposed to be with Sean, dare I say it?
Perhaps.
Yeah, they talk about the dinner party glance for sure.
Do you think that's a thing?
Absolutely.
I know, I agree completely.
So the thought process is when you see something happen at a dinner party and you both kind of, maybe somebody says something and it's like, oh, God, Jared's such a pretentious. And you just, without saying the words, you just look at each other and you're like, well, get a load of this guy.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a conversation about it later on in the car ride, right?
You have to really know the person really well, but it's like how girls have different glances for certain things. It is a true fact. And other girls can tell other girls' glances. We know what's going on. So they almost hit a goat. The car flips. They lose the van that they're tracking. And they decide to walk. That's a great idea.
It gets a little bit ridiculous again at this point.
It does get ridiculous. They go to a quinceañera. They have the best time, though.
Let's just listen to yourself.
I know.
They
Again,
start
that
walking. They go to a party.
That part
Why?
did not need to happen.
Right.
That entire scene. I mean, it was nice. They needed to show they were bonding and getting closer and whatever.
Bingo.
But there's other shorter ways you can do that.
You get what I mean? Where
I
they made
know.
an hour-long movie that they thought was so funny, and then they're like, "Holy shit, we did nothing to convince you that she should be with Sean."
Let's do another 45 minutes.
So now we have to have them walking to a friggin' party and just hanging out when they should be focused
Yes.
on the email still.
Well, they shouldn't, but they are. Yes.
But they're not, because they're at a party.
Well,
Just
yeah.
dancing the night away.
Eating lots of good guac and chips.
So confused.
Delicious. So she ends up meeting Jared at the airport. She gets there in time. They get settled in. She drugs him with his perks.
This was actually funny. So they're on the flight together. They're beside each other. She hits him with some perks, and then I didn't even think about this. She grabs his phone and she lifts his face up to it so that the Face ID would work. Hilarious.
It's really creepy. Like, I thought about that, and I was like, that's weird. Like, that's a lot.
Okay, Sarah, we've
It's
been talking about
doable.
lying to the receptionist
I know.
to track a letter that
I don't
goes
know why
to a
that
room.
seems better, okay?
Why does that seem better? It's not. But so she has his phone open, and before deleting the email, she's like, you know what?
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Sean's right. I shouldn't be pretending to be somebody else just for this Jared guy to like me. I should let him read the email.
Yes.
So she wakes him up, makes him read the email.
Which I think is a good move.
Yeah.
I
So,
wouldn't have deleted it.
so he reads the email.
Yes.
And he's like shocked, He's like, that was really mean. Like,
He's also high on perks.
he's
so,
high on
yeah.
perks, but he basically told her to get out of here. Like, go, like,
Oh, yeah. That
we're
was
done.
extreme. Like, where else is she supposed to go? What if the plane is full?
Great
Like,
question.
What is she supposed to do?
Great question. I don't know.
Like-
Luckily, it's a rom-com, so there was a seat open. And
Yeah.
also the other guy, like, if the flight is already in progress
Mhm.
and a random lady sits down beside me, I would probably ask, like, what are you doing here?
I would be like, what do you want? Like,
Who
what-
are you?
Why are you here?
Yeah, 100%.
And also, like, it seems like she's in business class. So, like, I would, if I'm paying for business class, I'm sitting in business class.
Oh, for
so
sure.
if there's no seat for me, I am sitting beside Jared, whether he likes it or not. He can move.
Oh, you mean you wouldn't move?
No.
You would chill.
I
Okay.
mean, like, if there's another seat in business class, then sure. Like, if I'm at that point, then you don't want me to sit there. Yeah, I'll move. So before she decides to show him the email, I think this is the point where she decides that she is going to, in fact, tell him and show him the email. They're settling in. They're on the flight. They're flying, and a man is clipping his toenails. That is disgusting. First off, like, to just do it openly, but on an airplane, that's gross.
But can we acknowledge the fact that if we're playing the
Yeah.
normal or rom-com game, I bet that happens on flights.
Oh, it does. Okay, so
There's a few TikToks of people like
there
putting their
is-
feet.
Yes, I had
like-
that done to me.
Oh,
I
that's
talked about it on a
disgusting.
pod not long ago.
That's horrible.
on an episode, but that has happened to me. Yeah, I poured water on them.
Good. They deserve it.
Yeah, well, on their feet. Ugh, it was so gross. But yeah, I was gonna say, what's the weirdest thing you've seen on a plane?
I don't think I've seen anything weird. I can say the single weirdest flight I've been on was a flight to Budapest.
Okay.
Just because, man, like Eastern European people are really interesting. They're fascinating. They're kind of like intense, but they don't mean to be intense.
Okay. I'm really interested.
Like,
in
I
where
remember
this
the
is
guy
going.
behind me asked for a drink, and
Oh,
he was just
yeah,
like,
he was pissed.
He was pissed, but
Yeah.
like I couldn't tell if it was just because he's Eastern European and he sounded pissed. Like, what is this? We're like, oh, that's like a water. He's like, it's garbage, and you're like,
No, he didn't want to pay.
is that?
If
Oh
you
yeah,
remember,
yeah,
he didn't wanna
yeah. He
pay.
was pissed about something,
He didn't wanna pay
and I
like
couldn't tell if
$4.
he was just Eastern European, so he sounded pissed, or if he was actually pissed.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He was also like 6'8", or he was a giant man.
He was. Yeah. I remember. I don't think you could reverse your chair at that point, which we also talked about. Like, do you reverse your chair?
Oh yeah,
in
no,
an
I did a
airplane?
little bit, and then I pulled it back up so
Yeah.
he didn't yell at me.
Yeah, I remember that. I do. That was, yeah. So after the flight, they all kind of go their separate ways. Like, her friends are still pissed at her. They leave. Jared is not talking to her ever again. He leaves. She just, she's the shittiest friend in the world.
But now we get the nice classic rom-com.
We
She's
do.
going to pick up her bootstraps, and
Yep.
she's going to get to work, and she gets a job. A
She
job
does.
that actually was referenced by Sean.
Yes.
Sean hooked it up for her.
I know. I actually like, his character in this movie, I loved. He was so, I'm trying to find like the right word. Like, just so kind and generous and such a nice human.
Well, and we did skip over a little bit of his backstory because
Yes.
when he's kind of connecting with Wesley, we learn that the reason why he used the automatic out that first time they went on a date is because his wife passed away 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was actually the very first date that he had been on since then.
Yeah. So knowing that, yeah, he probably would have used the, I'm out.
Yeah,
I
just
get
like,
it. I get it.
He's finally, he's learning how to walk and run again, and it's the first date. So yeah, he was having a tough time. His wife passed away. So we learn a lot more about his character. He seems like a very caring guy. He talks about his wife, and yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of, is it weird to say like warmth to his character?
Oh,
You know what I
yes,
mean?
So
Like
much warmth.
there's just something there that I really loved.
So yeah, like you said, she pulls up her socks, gets a job, then she goes on the redemption tour.
Yeah. She meets up with Brooke and Kaylee.
She makes up with her friends, and then she goes to see Sean. He's on a blind date at the place that they actually met for a blind date. But she tells him that she in fact likes him, but he turns her down.
He turns her down
Initially.
for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, I
She
know.
leaves, and then he walks out to the sidewalk, and
I wasn't supposed to meet somebody so fast, I was just getting my feet wet.
Oh my God, you don't need to say that. Honestly, it's fine. I'm fine.
That's the thing, Wes. I'm not okay with just being fine. I want more than that.
have this big moment, and they kiss.
Yeah.
Wes, you are messy and complicated and so perfectly you. And I haven't felt like this in a long time. And I don't want it to end.
I liked this ending. It was good. Like, I mean, the ending part, like the redemption tour, I mean, classic rom-com, but I did like the ending where, they both find each other.
They both find each other. It's clear that they were supposed to get together. It just
Totally.
took a little bit too long to get there.
45 minutes too long. Yeah.
I'd say
yeah.
that long. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly. And is that our movie?
It is.
Here we go. On to quick facts.
This movie reunites Nazem Pedrad and Lamorne Morris after they played a couple on the show New Girl in 2011. Nazem Pedrad read the first draft of the script a decade ago. Plenty of changes and edits were made to the plot, storyline, and dialogue to get the movie to what it amounted to today. Anna Camp's last day shooting, Desperados, was filled with improv. The last day on set was a night shoot for her, and she said, we were at the resort in Cabo, and it was the scene where we throw the water on Wesley and she's running around in the towel. It was so good to go out on a fun high note. I remember LP, the director, was just telling us to improv things, and Sarah Burns and I improved that high five where we missed each other. A lot of CGI was used during the film, especially during the dolphin dick slap.
You mean that wasn't a real dolphin? What? That wasn't a real dolphin dick?
No.
Oh.
No.
You lied to.
Although, you know what? I have been to a penis museum in Iceland. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's all you had to say there. You
well,
weren't
I
like,
didn't
hey,
know-
I've seen a dolphin.
I've seen a dolphin's dick.
You know where I've been?
In-
Penis museum. Thank you for that fact.
You're welcome. That's a Sarah fact.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Oh my God.
They had all aquatic animals.
Are
in
we
there.
still on the penis
Okay,
museum?
moving on.
What else?
This movie was in fact filmed in Mexico City. The other main filming location was LA, California. In its first weekend, Desperados was the second most streamed film on Netflix.
Wow.
This was originally in development as early as November 2009. It was intended for Isla Fisher at Universal Pictures.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2009, Isla Fisher. I would love that.
I could see that. Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God, that sounds great.
In an interview with E.T., Anna Camp said that when she was approached to be in the film, she was told she could choose between playing Brooke and Kaylee. Anna explained that she picked Brooke because she felt she related to the character since she recently went through a divorce. Anna Camp and Heather Graham were both in Goodbye to All That in 2014.
Did you do your best scene?
I did.
Okay. Honorable mentions.
All the actors in this movie. Like, I know I usually do, like, side characters were great, blah, blah, blah. But, like I said, I would rewatch this movie solely based on the actors and their performance in this movie because I thought it was so fun.
We're on the exact same page. My honorable mention is slightly different. I want to honorably mention the careers of specifically Lamorne and Nazem. Because this movie was roasted by critics. I think it's like a 17 if you look it up on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's a 15.
It's a 50. Wow.
It's a 15.
Worse. Okay.
Yep.
I thought it was an easy, good watch. Yes, there are lots of holes to poke, and
Totally.
we have proceeded to poke holes.
But there's lots of holes to poke in a lot of rom-coms and a lot of movies in general.
And critics love to hate rom-coms.
They do.
I don't think this movie is a 15%. We're going to get to our overall scores shortly. But, I just want to honorably mention, this movie didn't get hated on because of their performances or because of their likability as actors or actresses. In fact, I think they're both pretty great, and I think they deserve a second shot at being leads in a good, solid rom-com that's actually gonna hit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree, not the best rom-com, but I don't think that's because of any of the individual performances.
Yeah. What should have been?
What should have been?
The movie should have been 40 minutes shorter.
I think Jared, Robbie Amell's character, should end up with Adeline from Age of Adeline.
I don't actually think that they needed him in that movie that long.
Oh, I agree.
I think his storyline could have ended a lot sooner, and and this would have shortened the amount of time the movie was. And her and him, or almost like she forgot about Robbie Amell's character, and that she ended up connecting with Sean earlier.
Oh my
right?
God,
And
Sarah.
she ends up dumping him, which is so empowering for her as a person because she seems so desperate that she needs a man.
Or not that she ends up dumping him, that she just doesn't care. That he's like, hey, I saw this email, and she's like, oh, you know what? I actually found something fulfilling.
Totally.
And I don't care if you read the email or not. That's who I am.
That's how I felt at the time, and which was awful. But anyway, but yeah.
Also, shout out to Robbie Amell, because I know I just mentioned
love Robbie
Lamorne and Nazem, but yeah, if there's also another person who deserves to genuinely get a starring role in a rom-com, or just in a lot of stuff, I think Robbie Amell's amazing.
Well,
I love him.
he's been in a lot. So he was in The Flash, CW's The Flash.
Okay. Sarah,
What?
Stop it.
Okay, whatever.
Was he also in Chicago Fire?
No, he wasn't. But
I'm just making jokes because Sarah watches those very crappy,
They're
low
not
budget
crappy.
shows.
Oh, that's awful to say. But he's also in Amazon Prime's Upload.
Oh, yeah, Upload's actually very good. Yeah, I've talked about my other what should have beens. We should have gotten to the love interest with Sean quicker. We should have gotten rid of Heather Graham altogether. No offense, Heather Graham. And now, rewatchability. So I've got chemistry, a 4. The shining star of this movie is Lamorne and Nazem are actually great together.
Totally.
Storyline, though, 2. Thirst factor, though, 2. Imagination, 3. Sarah, what do you have to say?
I have such a problem with your thirst factor rating. I have it anyway. Okay.
I think they're both adorable people. But
They're beautiful people.
They're cute. They're adorable.
Whatever.
They're sweet.
Anyway, moving on.
Imagination, a 3. Soundtrack, a 2. Cheese factor, a 3. This movie, I just realized, it has a higher score than Just Like Heaven by 0.01.
Oh my God.
2.66 out of 5 for me on Desperados.
Okay.
What do you got?
My rewatchability is Chemistry 4, Storyline 3.75,
Ugh.
Thirst Factor 5,
Oh, stop, Sarah.
Imagination 3.5.
No. A 5 out of 5.
Yes.
We watch movies with Ryan
Don't
Reynolds
judge.
and Sandra
Don't
Bullock,
judge.
and you don't give it a.
I need to finish.
Do you think they're on that level?
Yes, I need to finish.
What?
Imagination 3.5, Soundtrack 2.5, Cheese 3 for an overall score of 3.63. Don't judge.
Jude Law, Kate Winslet,
Don't
Cameron
judge.
Diaz, all in the same movie.
Yes.
Does that get a 5 out of 5 for Thirst Factor?
Yes.
Okay, all right. This has been the Rom-Com Rewind of Desperados. What was your total score again?
3.63.
Jesus.
Ain't 15% like Rotten Tomatoes.
True. Rotten Tomatoes definitely lowballed it.
Totally.
If you have any thoughts or opinions on our thoughts and opinions, you can reach out at Romcom Rewind on TikTok, on Instagram. I think we should get an email address as well. Do you think?
We could.
Let's do it. We'll figure out a Gmail
All right.
address.
Okay.
For now, though, if you got Instagram, throw stuff at us there. And also, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, subscribe, leave a review. Same with Spotify. And what do we have next?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. One of my favorite rom-coms.
Dude, that
of all time.
One of your is that like a
it
top
is
10?
No, I would say top 5.
Okay, I would say it's probably in
me.
my top 10. We'll see if it ends up in the top 5, though.
Yeah.
That's a genuinely fantastic rom-com. So if you want to keep up with us, feel free to watch that for our next episode.
Thanks for listening.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.